Hey guys, what is up? I'm just here scrolling through my LinkedIn real quick, looking at a couple articles, and yeah, you can join in with me. Let's look at some pretty cool articles together. Alright, let's go. This one is a pretty cool article. Goldman Sachs names Ross NY Region Head of Wealth Management. It's good to see, just people becoming the heads. Let's look into this one. If Black Lives Matter to brands, where are your black board members? Let's jump into this one. So again, it says if black. Hold 1 second, guys. Let me just. So again, if Black Lives Matter to brands, where are your black board members? No, it says boards that profess to support racial justice on social media without a single black board member aren't helping the cause. They're being hypocrites. Wow. So in this story it says, once upon a time I worked for Louis Vuitton. I got to know the people, the products, the history, the brand, and I really liked it. I still have a battered Louis Vuitton roller suitcase that follows me around the world, and a dozen great memories of doing things with people from the brands that was both challenging and a lot of fun. At the time I was working there, the communication team at Louis Vuitton had commissioned the godlike film director Wong Kar-wai to make an extended cinema ad called Journeys. It was designed to reconnect Louis Vuitton with its heritage of travel, and it was just about the most beautiful I'd ever seen. Beautiful thing I'd ever seen. When the team at Louis Vuitton first showed it to me in Paris, I literally had tears in my eyes. Should we watch the video? Let's do it. I'm not gonna play all of it, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's continue reading. Back then, I was on planes and trains, and the ad not only spoke to me, it crystallized, and the reason I loved Vuitton so much. It crystallized the reason I love Vuitton so much. I started to show the ad to other executives I worked with, and then the MBA students. This, I explained, was how a brand reconnects with its DNA and builds an emotional connection. About 6 months later, I was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, I'd finished teaching an evening class and wandered aimlessly into a late night movie theater. As I settled into my seat, I heard unmistakable initial notes of the journey's ad. Wow, I thought to myself, this will be a chance to see the thing on the big screen. And with an audience of consumers who don't know the amazing film like I do. The 90-second ad began to play, and the combined effect of seeing it with others in the world, in the real world, on the big screen, had an even bigger impact on me than I was expecting. As with the most emotional long-form video, the brand took its time to reveal itself. The audience sat spellbound as the ad played until, with precisely 2 seconds to go, the Louis Vuitton logo appeared across the screen. I guess we didn't see it. The cinema erupted. "Bullshit!" shouted one audience member. Boos rang out around the theater. A woman sat directly in front of me, leaned across her partner and said, "Total fucking nonsense." And I was stunned. I had expected shock, awe, and perhaps a ripple of applause. Instead, everyone in that theater, except me, hated it. I ignored much of the movie that followed as I puzzled over this very odd turn of events. Gradually, I began to realize that I had once again forgotten the oldest rule of marketing. You are not the consumer. Worse than that, I was a part of the brand. I was paid by it. I knew the people, knew the strategy, wanted it to succeed. I had watched that ad with the intent and focus typical of all marketers, and completely alien to all the consumers who were being targeted by it. And I had watched it some 50 times more since. I'd showed it to others, gloried in its brilliance. I thought it would work wonders on the consumer. But I was not the consumer. They sat all around me in that darkened theater, and they were not in the mood for French luxury. The global financial crisis was still sending ripples of economic pain across America. Still, Cambridge leans very left. If I had exited the theater and walked 5 blocks east, I would have reached Noam Chomsky's MIT office. Noam Chomsky, good writer, very good. I watch his interviews. Anyway, if I had kept another 5 minutes, I would have quickly been subsumed into the blue-collar birthplace of Mark Wahlberg. The ad was a disaster for this audience. I had been blinded by being inside the bubble of its production and missed the implications of market orientation and seen the ad through the consumer's eyes. As a result, the only eyes that ultimately count. True. The marketing bubble. We marketers live in a branding bubble of, we marketers live in a branding bubble of our own creation. We think brands matter, that our brands matter. We think advertising is important. We think the other people care. And with each passing year, our brand bubble appears to become less and less transparent. An increasing proportion of marketers lose touch with the consumers. They are meant to take their coordinates from and fall for the bullshit of their brands, and their communications make any kinds of difference and your communications make any kind of difference to society at large. And that this impact is crucial, is a crucial part of their job. What a long I'll continue next time.